It was a hard game. You know, it was both nights, back-to-back nights, a very tough game. A lot of wall battles. They're a good hockey club. I thought we did a lot of really good things. You know, probably could have done a better job getting inside, but they protect the middle of the ice very well. It's their staple. You know, they don't. You know, they do a really good job, and I think we fed into it a little bit in the first period, turning pucks over. You know, when a team like that protects as well as they do in the middle of the ice, they invite that. They want you to try to force plays through the middle, and they read off. You know, they feed off that transition, and that's when they get the momentum. So, you know, I thought the momentum shifted in the second period for us. We had some quality chances, some good looks on the power play, and you know, they do a good job pressing in the third period there on their forecheck. And you know, they're not an overly engaging team in the sense where they finish a ton of checks. They hound and they forecheck and they forecheck, and so you have to keep the puck along the walls. And for us, it's a, you know, it was something that, you know, we have to, you know, really, you know, do a good job battling and competing and winning those battles on the walls, especially on our own end.
Did you make any changes to the game plan from last night to tonight?
Well, I think we stuck with what we needed to stick with. I thought what we did, you know, worked. I mean, we want to keep them as much as possible off the board. You know, 3 regulation goals against in 2 games. You know, that's not a bad stat to have. I mean, I think we did at times get a little loose protecting in front of it. I think Maxi came up with some big saves in the second period as well, even the third period. So, but that's just part of it. It's part of that kind of playoff hockey where, you know, it's physical and guys are working and battling, and that's what it's going to take. I mean, if you walk out of here feeling good in the sense that your body feels good, I mean, you're not working hard enough and you're not doing what's right. I mean, and that's what we're starting to see from a lot of guys. You know, there's a lot of ice and a lot of you know, a lot of paying the price, which is important at this time of the year.
What happened in overtime? Was they kind of catch off guard?
Yeah, I think it was just a shot from the outside. I mean, it was a shot from the outside. It was a shot that just, just found its way through. So, you know, and like I said, I thought Maxie did a really good job tonight.
They outshot you 17-2 in the third period and overtime.
Yeah.
Was it something they were doing or something?
They forechecked really hard, and I think we probably didn't do I wouldn't say good enough job, but just once we got through the neutral zone, just funneling, being a little more selfish and getting pucks to the net. You know, your possession game comes from funneling pucks, getting on pucks, managing it, and we just, you know, struggled with just, you know, taking those opportunities, and then it becomes a carousel where we don't, and then we come back, and then we're at no end, and then we have to change, and that's, you know, that's something that I think is a little self-inflicted, and something that, you know, with a team that really does a good job of protecting the middle of the ice like that, it's a tendency that by the time you get over the blue line, and then you get to the top of the circles, you realize you've run out of real estate. Now you're forcing something, and you can't. You have to manage it. And that's, you know, a little bit of probably what happened in the third period.
Despite the fact that you lost both games, are you happy with the fact that you came away with at least a point above?
Well, I think in both games against a very good hockey team. I mean, there's no question that we obviously want, you know, we want all 4 points. It's a great test for us against a team that has certainly set a bar in this league, probably in pro hockey at this point. And you know, and that's something, a challenge that we were met with, and we've, you know, have a pretty good record against them. And so we know we can play with them. We just have to be a little bit better in certain areas and a little bit tougher and harder inside. And we, you know, but I think it set the bar. I mean, that team is, you know, you give them a lot of credit, but we were right there with them for both games, and you have to be happy about that, and the compete and the work. And this is new for a lot of guys, and we're starting to see that. Now they're starting to see what it takes, and it's no different tomorrow. And not looking too far ahead, but that's what it's going to take, and especially for some of the younger guys.
I'm guessing that Garrett sat tonight just as a 9-off type thing?
Yeah, I mean, we're just, you know, we're monitoring him. It's more so just, you know, nothing negative, just an internal decision. Thank you, guys.
Hey Max, how do you feel about the game in particular in general? What are your thoughts? The whole game.
Well, I thought we played a solid game. I thought especially in the second, we had a lot of chances, and then, you know, they had a good third. We found a way, you know, to go to OT, and then in OT, obviously, it's a bad goal. It just can't go in, especially at this time of the year. It just can't go in.
What happened on the shot at the end?
Well, he just kind of walked into it and took a slap shot from the outside, but it sneaked like in between my glove and my pad. But like I said, just can't go in. Doesn't matter.
You catch it off guard, or?
I guess a little bit, yeah. It was kind of a soft lead. There's been like a confusion on the board, but you just walk into it. Right?
Okay.
In the room, I know that, South Carolina, very difficult team to play, but you guys did come up with a point in each game. I know that you wanted two, but are you satisfied with the way you played overall in the two games?
I think so. Obviously, they're a good team. They won 23 in a row. It's just like that. They play hard. They play the right way. They do everything right. So I thought we matched them well. Obviously a shootout yesterday, and now OT. So we're close. It's not about the bounces and stuff, but if we keep pushing and do things the right way, we'll be fine.
Max, can you talk about it was interesting in that game because it seemed like there was like an ebb and flow big time where it would be 5 or 6 minutes where you wouldn't see a shot,
Yeah.
and then 5 or 6 minutes where you'd be completely bombarded. How difficult is it to transition back and forth with that game?
Yeah. Well, obviously, sometimes it's always easier when you get shots. Obviously, you stay in the game, but that's part of the job of being a goalie is stay focused no matter what happens. Even though plays on the other hand, you got to stay focused and be ready for that next shot. So yeah, it's difficult, but you got to find a way to get it done.
From the way you and Garrett have both played at times this year, how much confidence do the two of you have as far as going forward from here and hopefully into the playoffs? And how do you think you two as a tandem match up against the rest of the ECHL?
I mean, I can talk for the other team, so I don't know every goalie, but from my experience where, I've been on multiple teams, I think two of us together, we do, solid duo, and, I don't want to say we're the best one, but I think we're up there. I'm confident with that. I think we, especially the team that we have, and if the two of us can play well, I think we're in good shape. Yeah.
Thanks, Max.